Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area, and I'm going to be creating a video. This is for some of my students that are having issues with the lampshade assignment. I'm not sure of exactly what the number and module is, but this one I kind of want to go over in a lot of detail to see if it will help you students out. Also, I'm going to apologize up front. I'm having very bad allergies right now, so if I'm coughing or wheezing or sneezing, please excuse that. I'll just muddle through this video. So here is that lampshade, and this is probably one of the first ones where you're really needing to deal with changing planes. So I'm going to just kind of dive into it. I'm going to open up a 3D template right here, and I'm going to be giving a lot of side notes, kind of, asterisk type of things that I want you to pay attention to as I'm doing this, because there's a couple things that I won't be drawing anything on, but I want to explain why I'm doing something. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to draw all three of these circles. And I'm just going to go to circles. Since they're giving me, it looks like diameter, I'll go to diameter. I will start here, and my first one will do 5.25 is the diameter. Let me kind of zoom in there. Okay, and then I'm going to do another circle diameter using that same center point. So I'm using CEN, my O snap, to go to that center point, and that diameter is 2. And then last, another circle going to that center point, CEN, and the diameter is 1.5. Okay, now this is one of those side notes that's very, very important. AutoCAD 3D O snaps does not like quadrant when you get off of a plane. So what I'm going to do here is, while everything is on one plane, I'm going to draw a line from quadrant to quadrant. So I have, if you look over here to the left where those arcs go, because AutoCAD's O snaps will always pick up an end point. But when you think about a quadrant in 2D, it's real easy because you've got a quadrant at the top, quadrant at the bottom, quadrant left, quadrant right. Here, with everything spinning around, it doesn't know where the quadrants are. So now I'm going to go line, and I'm going to type in QUA for quadrant. I'm going to go to there, and I'm going to type in QUA. Actually, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start with the small one because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to start line. Let's kind of move in here. Quadrant of this line there, and quadrant of that line. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this up, and the smaller circle, as you can see, is going to be 2.5 and 2.5, so I'm going to move it 5. So I come over to, and I didn't apologize, I didn't get my 3D menu up here. Hold on to that. Here we go. So I'm going to come over here and find 3D move, which should be right there. 3D move, and I'm going to pick this circle and this line. I'm going to hit enter. Now where I pick, it really doesn't matter because I'm picking, and I want my ortho on. See, I don't want it to go off to any side, so I'm going to hit F8 so it'll go up. Oops, I think I hit this wrong. Let me start over again. 3D move. I forgot to do something. I hit enter. I hit this blue to tell it to go up. So now it's going straight up. So now I just type in 5. So now I've got the top of that lampshade set with that line. That's just a construction line I'm going to use. So now I'm going to go back to line, and I'm going to go quadrant to quadrant. Now I'm going to move, 3D move. Come up here to 3D move. I'm going to pick these two, use the blue because I want to go up. Now I'm going to go up 2.5. And since I've already drawn the line that will help, I'm going to go ahead and do a line for the bottom one. It'll help understand this a little bit better. Quadrant there and quadrant there. Okay, so now I've got this set. I'm going to do a little rotate here. Let's see if it'll give me a little wheel so you can see. It's not going to work for me real good. There we go. So you can see how things are on a different level. Okay, so here's the working plane, and these two circles have moved off of it. Imagine them floating above your table. Okay, and I actually want to get my viewport on, so I'm sorry, my view cube. Let me get all that turned on here real quick. Again, I apologize. Okay, so let's go to home. So here is the isometric. Now, I want these arcs, as you can see, I want this arc to go from here to here. Now, I can't do that in this plane. I need to find the plane that is parallel to these lines. So there's only 3 planes. This one is wrong, so I only have 2 more to pick from. So I go up here to, let's see if they I'm actually going to go to the full page because I can find it easier. We're going to go up here to world. Okay, and top and bottom are the same for drawing lines. Left and right are the same, front and back. So right now we're on top and bottom. I'm going to change it to left. Well, just so happens, lucky as you can see, my grid is now parallel to these lines. So this is the plane I'm going to work on. So now I'm going to go back so we can see the problem. So you can kind of see that grid there. So I've turned my working surface to be here now. So I know that these radiuses are going to be 3, and I know the start point and the end point. So I just come up here to arc. I know the start point, I know the end point, and I know the radius. So this is the one that I use. Remember that you always have to go counterclockwise. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go to that end point, pick that end point. I'll kind of bring it out here a little bit just so you can see that curve. And now I'm just going to type in 3. Enter. Now I've got that arc done. Now I'm going to do the next one, which is right above it. Let's go to start end radius. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to end here. Notice how it's finding those end points. And then the radius is 5. So now, if I move around here a little bit, see if it'll let me move around. See how those arcs are? I'm kind of moving this around. So I'm working on this plane. This is my board now, such as it is. Imagine before you were working on the floor of your office. Now you're working on the wall of your office. I'm working on another plane. And notice that these curves, arcs, we're going counterclockwise. So I'm going to do these arcs, only I'm going to start down here. Let me get out of that rotation. Let me go to arc, start end radius, right here. I'm going to pick that end point, and see there's the arc. So I'm just going to type in 5. Let me kind of rotate that. Let me see if I can get that back to home. Let's go over a little bit. Oops, hit the wrong one, sorry. Oops. Let's just get this over here so we can rotate it around. Okay. So now I'm going to do another arc. Go from this end point to this end point. There's, kind of pull it up so you can see that arc. I type in 3. Okay, so now for the most part I'm done. I have made my skeleton. The lofting is very, very easy. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this line up here on top because I'm going to show you why here in a second. I'm going to select that line and select that line and hit enter. I'm sorry, delete and get rid of those. Now, just to show you, I'm going to go to arc and I'm going to type in QUA, enter. See, notice how it can't find that quadrant on that circle. See, it can't find it on any of them. Oh, it found it on that arc. So that's why I'm telling you, if I go to start here and I go to pick an endpoint, it picks that one, look at all the ones it picks. It'll pick those all day long. Okay, so now we're finished with the skeleton part of it. Now we're going to do the lofting. So that's right here under these four. Go to loft. Now it'd be hard to screw in a light bulb into a solid lampshade. So the first thing I'm going to do after I start loft is pick mode. Then I'm going to pick surface. Now it's saying select cross sections in lofting order. I'm just going to start at the bottom, go from here to here, and notice it's showing me a straight loft. Well, I'm going to hit enter, but now I want to tell it, hey, I've got some guides here I want to use. So here I'm going to guides. I pick this guide, hit enter, and there I'm done with that bottom part. So see, as I rotate this around, see that lampshade on there? Nice and hollow. Okay, so now I'm just going to repeat that again. Go to loft, go to mode, go to surface, because see, it always defaults to solid. Go to surface. Okay, select your cross section. I want to select this circle here. Notice how it's just highlighting it, like that one and that one. And I hit enter. Now it will let me pick the guides. I'm going to pick this guide there, that guide there, hit enter, and there is my lampshade. See? Now, if I want to go ahead and add a top to it, that's very easy to do. First of all, I need to go back to my home view. And let's see here. I'm going to have to go to a larger, let's see here, left. I'm going to go ahead and go back to world. So see, now I'm flat again, because I want to use this line right here. Now, you may say, what can I do to make this cover? It is very easy. Donut. Okay, so I'm going to go to donut. Actually, I want to minimize this a little bit so we can see the problem. I'm going to go to donut, which is right here. It's saying specify the inside diameter. We want it to be solid, so we hit 0, enter. Now it's asking for the outside diameter. Well, the outside diameter of this is 1.5, so I'm going to type 1.5. Now it wants to know where to place it. I'm going to type in MID, and there you have it. There is your lampshade. Okay. Now, I can go ahead and move this, and I'm going to just go to regular old move. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to pick the top, the side, and the bottom, and I'm going to slide it over here. Go ahead and just say continue on that. Slide that over there. Well, there's that extra skeleton. Well, I don't need that anymore. Hit enter, erase it, and now you see the lampshade is done. So in this case, it's really about snapping, setting these lines up across here to be able to snap to them. Just like I explained to students many times, sometimes just like in a building, when they're constructing a building, they have to do scaffolding on the outside to put up the brick or to do work. On the inside, they'll put up framing. And then when they slowly get done with it, they take it down. Well, I'm just going to undo this real quick. I'm just going to go backwards. See, there, and just to show you, I drew these lines to help me draw these arcs. Because again, if I didn't have this line, and I got rid of that, and I went to arc, and I said I want to go from the quadrant QUA, see, it won't find it. Because it doesn't know but an end point is always an end point. Okay, so give that a try. You do have to work in two planes. There are different ways to do this, so if you did it a different way or you were trying another way, that's not an issue. I'm going to see if it will let me. Well, let me see if it'll. Okay, I'm going to show you another way that you can do this. If you really want to try it, is you create all this and then you get rid of this, leaving just that outside. Now I'm going to go to revolve. I'm going to go to mode because I want it to be surface. It says select objects. I'm going to select this, hit enter. It wants a revolve point, which is going to be the midpoint of this line. Then I'm going to pick this other line here. Oops, I'm sorry, I did that incorrectly. Let me start that over, revolve. Actually, I'm going to join these first, just to make it easier. I'm going to go to revolve, pick there, and then it wants an axis. I'm going to type MID, and then I'm going to go straight down, and then I'm going to type 360, and there it is there. Once again, that is another way to do that lampshade. But again, I still needed to do that scaffolding, and of course the donuts, you can use that line to do it again. So give this a try. Hopefully this will help y'all out. I'm glad that I got through it without wheezing and coughing and sneezing. But this concludes this video. Thank you very much.